It's Monday, the 11th of June 2018, and welcome to Navigating Your Day. In Shinjitsu, safety engineer number 11 came into the universe meaning justice, getting rid of excess garbage. So my understanding of this is the justice that we often seek for ourselves or for others is already taken care of by the way in which duality operates in the universe. So what I mean by that is we often think that somebody who has done something wrong to us, let's say someone has stolen your money, they need to be punished according to the rules of justice. But the rules of justice are man-made. They're made from the position of the lower mind. And so what Safety in Shock number 11 reminds us is that justice is already taken care of because there are both sides already exist in actuality. So in other words, the person who's stolen your money, you think that you've been harmed and they've been served because you don't see the service to yourself and you don't see the harm to themselves. But that already exists. It's built into the system. So we do this with ourselves as well. We constantly judge ourselves where we fall short. We judge ourselves when we've done something that we think is amazing because then we think that we're awesome. And we judge ourselves when we've done something that we think is wrong or terrible and then we feel guilty about it. Because we can't see that no matter what we do, the other side automatically exists. Now, this might be quite an esoteric concept, and you might think, ugh, I'm not really with her today. Well, just trust me that this is how it operates. It's a universal law. The fact that we live in this dualistic universe, but that in actuality, everything is neutral. It only becomes good or bad when we judge it through our own filters. That's why certain things that are certain things that are illegal or a crime in one place might be seen as perfectly acceptable in another place. So, in the 1800s or whatever, consensual relationships between men, there was a hanging offense. If you were accused of having sexual relations with a man, if you were a man, right, and it came to light, it was a hanging offense. You could get arrested and get hung, right? So now we don't do that anymore. There probably are still parts of the world where that kind of thing is illegal. So does it make it right or wrong? Well, it just makes it right or wrong depending on whose justice system you're talking about. And those justice systems are man-made. So at the level of universal law, justice is already taken care of. 11 is a 2, and 2 is about balance, remember? So this excess baggage that we carry here, this is where safety engine number 11 is located on the top of the traps, is very often associated with carrying baggage that isn't necessary, largely around ourselves and other people. So we say we have to forgive someone. Well, forgiving someone is essentially accepting that they messed up, but that you are noble enough to overlook that. That is not appreciating that if they messed up, the other side of the coin also exists. In other words, if they messed up and they created huge drawbacks to you, then in that messed up and those drawbacks, there had to have been an equal number of benefits. Qualitatively and quantitatively the same. This is not something that comes natural to us, guys. This is something that we have to learn. So a 2 is about nourishment. 2 is about, are we keeping a balance between nourishing ourselves and nourishing other people? Are we nourishing others at the expense of ourselves? Are we nourishing ourselves at the expense of others? Are we criticizing and judging ourselves unnecessarily? That garbage is what accumulates in safety engine lock number 11 at the top here of the traps. And you know what? Most of us have pain and tension there. And that is because most of us operate from the level of our lower minds where we judge things as being good or bad based on whether they support us or whether they challenge us. But we can train our minds to appreciate that neutrality exists in every single situation. And the more you do that, the freer you become. So 11, as I said, is a 2. 2 is a water number. It's about emotion. We've got the 6 from June, which is about balance and discrimination. It's helping us to appreciate this balance that exists. It's helping us to get rid of the garbage that forces us to keep on punishing ourselves, right? Punishing more than nourishing. We've also got a 2 from 2018. So today in the root of the life map, we've got 2 2s and a 6. The 2s are water numbers. They're about appreciating the balance. They're about nurturing. They're about protecting. They're about I want to say soul food. They're about what do you require in order to nurture yourself more fully today. They are also emotional numbers. They're associated with emotions. So today you might find yourself being able to deeply connect to your emotions. Luckily, there's also quite a lot of earth in the life map today, which keeps us firmly grounded and rooted. The hero today is a 1. So when we have 1 in the hero position, the 1 says in this position, I am, and that's enough. I am perfect just as I am right now. I have a right to be here. I'm an inspiration. I can do good. I can make a contribution. I can inspire and uplift others. I am enough and I am whole as I am right now. So when we find we become too judgmental of ourselves, we become too critical, when we become too critical of others, then we lose sight of the fact that we are all complete as we are. So we can connect to that energy of the hero today, the 1 energy which helps us to connect to I am enough, which means that increases our confidence, which means that we become less judgmental of ourselves, and when we become less judgmental of ourselves, we become less judgmental of others. The villain today is a 3. So when we have a 3 in the villain position, then we run the risk of taking our eye off the ball a bit, getting distracted, losing focus. So we become more easily distracted. We get distracted by low priorities, which means that it feels like the whole day has gone by. You've been incredibly busy today, but you haven't actually done anything that is important to you. So maybe something that is important to you would be spending some time on self-nurture and self-care, or actually deeply connecting to your emotions and spending a bit more time being as opposed to constantly doing today. All right. So it doesn't have to be that you are distracted from completing a project. It can be that you are distracted from getting in touch with your own emotions, connecting to what your true needs are. Becoming more in touch and in tune with what it is that you require in order to nurture yourself today. So do be aware of the distractions, maybe too much time on social media, too much time watching TV, and not any time actually deeply connecting to how it is that we feel today. Because very often those emotions, particularly if they are what we judge as being negative emotions, we try and avoid them. We don't want to embrace them and we don't want to feel them. But remember, emotions want to be felt. They don't want to be fixed. Luckily, of course, as always, we've got Jin Shin Jyutsu that can help us. So Safety Energy Knock number 11 is located on the index finger. Just had to check that for a second. The index finger harmonizes the bladder and kidney organ function energies. It harmonizes subconscious fear, which is really what keeps us trapped in that judgment and keeps us carrying the excess baggage. It also helps to harmonize all the fluids of the body. So that would be the blood, the hormones, the neurotransmitters, anything that has got to do with fluid distribution and balance. It helps to maintain circulation. It also, as I said, it helps to harmonize subconscious spheres, and it helps to harmonize the subconscious sphere so that we can bring clarity. And when we bring clarity, then we don't need to distract ourselves from those seemingly negative emotions. So hold your index finger today. You can also hold Safety Energy Lock number 11 by just hanging your hand over your trap, and you can make a ring with your thumb and your ring finger, or you can make a ring with your thumb and your index finger today on the same side, and obviously you can do the same thing on the opposite side. Or, as I said, you can hold your index finger. I hope you have an amazing Monday, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow.